Episode 12. Zumi saves the Oyabun and new rewards. As Anna's heart raced with a mix of desperation and love, she sprang up from her chair, her movements guided by an urgent need to reach Zumi. A whirlwind of emotions fueled each step she took, propelling her towards the one person who could provide her with comfort and understanding. Upon reaching Zumi, she embraced him tightly, seeking solace in his warm embrace. While embracing, Zumi glanced at the man lying on the bed. With his newly gained traditional Chinese medicine knowledge, he could gauge the extent of the man's condition. It appeared that the man was grappling with numerous medical conditions, with his injuries illustrating a distressing tale of suffering and resistance. The gravity of the situation hit Zumi, and his heart overflowed with empathy. "Is that your father?" he inquired gently, his arms offering Anna a sense of security and support. Anna's response was laden with sorrow and resignation. "Yes," she murmured softly. She went on to explain the dire state of her father's health, the wounds he bore from a recent altercation, and the bleak prognosis given by the doctors. Tears welled up in Anna's eyes as she confessed her fears and uncertainties about the future. The weight of impending loss and the looming responsibility of leadership weighed heavily on her shoulders. "We're not ready for him to leave yet," she admitted, her voice trembling with emotion. The thought of her father's imminent departure and the daunting task of stepping into his shoes left her feeling overwhelmed and unprepared. In that moment of vulnerability and shared grief, Anna and Zumi found themselves entwined in a bond forged by empathy and compassion. The fragility of life and the complexities of familial duty hung heavy in the air, creating a palpable sorrow and uncertainty that enveloped them both. In the softly illuminated room, silence settled as Zumi's question dangled like a fragile thread. "Do you trust me?" he asked, his voice soft yet filled with a quiet intensity. Anna briefly halted, her arms still embracing him, as their eyes connected in a wordless exchange of emotions. Anna's response was swift, accompanied by a flicker of vulnerability in her eyes. With utmost sincerity and faith, she declared, "I trust you with my life," emphasizing the weight of her words. The gravity of the situation was etched on her face, a desperate plea for her father's well-being and a miracle. As he spoke, Zumi's eyes shimmered with the possibility of hope, his words offering a touch of comfort. "I can possibly assist your father," he suggested, the hope of healing and redemption lingering like a captivating vision. Anna went from disbelief to a flicker of hope, her heart racing with a newfound sense of possibility. From the corner of the room, Gia suddenly spoke, her voice cutting through the silence like a beacon of hope. "Zumi can do it." She announced that her healing was attributed to Zumi. "It's possible," she affirmed, her eyes alight with wonder and admiration. Anna's expression mirrored her shock and disbelief, a wave of astonishment and gratitude washing over her. Anna's eyes were full of unshed tears as she turned to Zumi with renewed determination. Her voice, brimming with vulnerability, tugged at Zumi's heartstrings as she implored for any assistance, even the tiniest. In that moment, a bond of shared hope and desperation united them, a shared quest for salvation in the face of uncertainty. Zumi walked towards the bed with a resolute nod, his steps echoing with a sense of purpose and determination. The room seemed to hold its breath, anticipation and apprehension mingling in the air as they stood on the threshold of a moment that could change everything. As Zumi approached the bed where Anna's father lay, a wave of urgency and determination washed over him. His keen eyes scanned the man's injuries, noting the severity of the wounds with a sense of grave concern. The man had been shot twice in the leg, the bullets having caused significant damage but miraculously missing any vital organs. Zumi was greatly troubled by the detection of stage 2 lung and heart cancer, a stealthy destroyer residing in his fragile body. Realization dawned upon Zumi that time was of the essence, and swift action was required to offer any hope of saving the man's life. Drawing upon his mastery of traditional Chinese medicine, Zumi formulated a plan of action in his mind, his hands moving with purpose and precision as he prepared to administer his healing techniques. With a calm yet resolute demeanor, Zumi turned to Anna and Gia, his voice steady and reassuring. "I will do everything in my power to help your father," he vowed, his words carrying a sense of unwavering determination and compassion. Anna's eyes widened with a mix of hope and fear, her heart clinging to the possibility of a miracle in the face of impending tragedy. Drawing upon his knowledge of TCM and the healing powers of acupuncture, herbal medicine, and energy manipulation, Zumi began to work on the man's injuries and ailments with meticulous care. Each movement was deliberate, each touch infused with a sense of healing energy and intent. As he worked, a sense of serenity and focus enveloped the room, the air tinged with the scent of medicinal herbs and the quiet hum of healing energy. Hours passed in a blur as Zumi poured his heart and soul into the task at hand, his determination unwavering in the face of adversity. With each passing moment, a glimmer of hope began to flicker in the room, a beacon of light in the darkness of despair. Anna and Gia watched in silent awe, their hearts filled with gratitude and anticipation. Zumi's healing touch worked its magic on Anna's father, fighting against the ravages of disease and injury with a fierce determination to save a life hanging in the balance. After countless hours of intense focus and unwavering dedication, Zumi's brow glistened with sweat as a slight, knowing smile graced his lips. The room seemed to hold its breath, anticipation and tension thick in the air as the treatment unfolded before their eyes. Anna and Gia watched with bated breath, their hearts pounding with a mixture of hope and trepidation. In a calm but urgent voice, Zumi asked Gia to fetch a bowl of warm water and a soft cloth, never taking his eyes off the man lying on the bed. Gia wasted no time and promptly obeyed Zumi's command, swiftly positioning herself beside the man's head, prepared to provide any necessary help. And then, in a sudden and unexpected turn of events, the man began to cough violently, his body racked with spasms as a thick, viscous black liquid spilled forth from his mouth. The room seemed to freeze in time as a dark, ominous substance pooled in the bowl, a tangible manifestation of the cancer cells that had plagued his body for far too long. Gia meticulously obeyed Zumi's directions, cleaning up the spilled liquid with determination and efficiency. While she worked, the room became filled with awe and wonder, a silent recognition of the miraculous change happening right in front of them. Gradually, the man's pale complexion regained its color, as a rosy blush blossomed on his face like a desert flower. His breathing became steady, his appearance softened, and he seemed to glow with newfound energy. Zumi's hands became motionless, his eyes locked on the man with a sense of serene satisfaction, acknowledging the success of his healing touch. With certainty in his voice, Zumi announced, "He will be fine now," and gave a final nod of approval. "Allow him to rest for a while." The weight of the moment hung heavy in the air, a collective exhale of relief and gratitude filling the room as they bore witness to the miraculous power of healing and hope. Upon hearing Zumi's reassuring words about Anna's father, everyone breathed a sigh of relief together. Anna's overwhelming gratitude and admiration for Zumi were evident as she embraced him tightly. The system chimed with a joyful ping as Anna's intimacy level reached its maximum. With her quest completed and her loyalty solidified, Anna officially became a system character. Guiding Zumi to a couch, Anna observed the tiredness in his eyes and insisted he take a rest. Wanting to show her appreciation for his aid and encouragement, Anna ensured he was comfortable before telling the others to give him space to recuperate. A calmness filled the room as everyone comprehended the seriousness of the situation and experienced relief knowing that Anna's father would be all right. Jasmine's respect and intimacy towards Zumi grew, a silent acknowledgement of his selfless actions in their time of need. The room was bathed in a soft, golden light streaming through the windows, casting a warm glow over the peaceful scene. Upon waking up, Anna's father reached out and lovingly moved a strand of hair away from his daughter's face, who was peacefully asleep beside him, a tender smile gracing his lips. He shifted his focus to Kathy, Jasmine, and Gia, peacefully sleeping on the couch, their bodies curled up together in a protective hug. His movements were slow and deliberate as he sat up as if savoring each moment of his return to consciousness. Gratefulness surged within him for his daughter and her loyal supporters who remained by his side during his difficult time. Despite not being able to visually perceive Zumi, he had a sense of a mysterious presence in the room that captivated him. With closed eyes, he concentrated on the energy around him and sensed the strong aura coming from the unseen Zumi. In his extensive and colorful life, he had encountered this sensation before. The presence of the Monkey King. Suddenly, Anna awoke and realized her father was also awake. The little girl in her was overjoyed and yelled, "Dad!" while hugging him. The ladies were awakened by her yell, but Zumi kept sleeping, needing more rest. Restoring Anna's father's health depleted his spiritual energy, so he needed to restore it. The girls hurried to Anna's side and respectfully greeted her father, Boss Dojima, with a bow. Chia was the only one who didn't bow. Jasmine inquired about the reason behind her refusal to bow. Despite Chia's refusal to bow, Anna's father, with his keen perception, realized that she was not being disrespectful. He silenced Jasmine and asked Chia, "Have you found a new boss you want to work for?" "I see it in your eyes." Chia replied, "Yes, Boss Dojima, I have dedicated my existence to him." I noticed the same look in my daughter's eyes, too. Furthermore, the fact that Chia and Anna's looks have changed implies that this person must be influential. Anna now had long, flowing pink hair. She wore a stylish crop jacket over a white midriff-bearing top and black cargo-style pants. She also had a black cap worn backwards. Anna was shocked by her transformation and realized she felt more powerful than before and had a stronger connection to Zumi than ever. Suddenly, out of nowhere, she exclaimed, "Where's Zumi?" Chia replied, "He's still asleep." Healing Boss Dojima's injuries must have been exhausting for him. "So it's Zumi the one I sent you to his home, right?" Anna looked at her father and said, "Yes! He's amazing! He healed you completely." "Let's let him rest, then. We should go and address the family downstairs to end this family war," Boss Dojima said. Anna's father rose from the bed and accompanied the ladies as they made their way to the door. Instructing Chia to stay near Zumi's side, he knew that was what she wanted. Despite Chia's loyalty to him and his daughter, he knew her heart now belonged to Zumi. When he gave her permission to serve Zumi wholeheartedly, it made Chia smile. Anna hurriedly went to Zumi, gave him a peck on the cheek, and then rejoined her father as they exited the room. Just a few minutes after their departure, Zumi woke up and slightly opened his eyes. Across from him, Chia sat on the couch, with a content and happy expression. Not sensing any presence in the room, he concluded that Mr. Dojima must have woken up and left with everyone else. He greeted Chia as he sat up, and she greeted him back. "Master Zumi, it's the morning! Did you sleep well?" Chia inquired. "I did," Zumi said as he gestured for Chia to sit by him. Obeying the instructions, she sat down on his right side. Upon sitting, he lightly tapped her head, petting her, and she grinned with delight. Zumi said to Chia, "I'm going to do things right now to get stronger and see what skills I have, so if anything unnatural happens, can you keep it between us?" She said, "Of course, Master." Zumi smiled, closed his eyes, and said in his mind system, "Please open all my 8 high-tier rewards." Chia admired him like a woman madly in love with the man of her dreams. The system chimed ping. Extracting 8 random high-tier rewards. One moment, please. After a minute, the system chimed ping. Rewards have been selected for the host. Reward number 1, Legendary Weapon, Blood Moon Bracers. Description: the Blood Moon Bracers are a legendary pair of gauntlets that are said to have been forged under the light of a blood moon by ancient Aztec shamans. These gauntlets are made of a rare, dark metal that absorbs the surrounding light, giving it an ominous and powerful aura. When worn, the Blood Moon Bracers increase the wearer's strength by 10, allowing them to perform incredible feats of physical prowess. As the wearer levels the gauntlets more, the strength boost increases by a multiple of 10, making them even more formidable in battle. In addition to the strength boost, the Blood Moon Bracers also increase the wearer's damage points by 5, making their attacks more devastating and lethal. However, the true power of these gauntlets lies in their ability to break or destroy whatever they contact when infused with Chi energy. When the wearer channels their Chi energy into the Blood Moon Bracers, they become a force to be reckoned with, shattering any obstacle or enemy in their path. The destructive power of these gauntlets is unmatched, and those who wield them must exercise caution and control to prevent unintended destruction. Just then, a green light showed in front of Zumi. He opened his eyes, and a pair of gauntlets appeared before him. He grabbed them attached to his hand and turned them into bracelets. The moment he thought about having them on, they surrounded his hands. They were not too heavy, but Zumi could feel the strength wearing them. He thought about them going away, and they receded back into bracelets. Zumi thought, "I had better only use that when I am fighting a tough battle." The system chimed again. Ping! Reward number 2. Legendary weapons, Twin Dragon Bane Daggers. Description: the Twin Dragon Bane Daggers are legendary weapons shrouded in mystery and power. Crafted by an ancient order of dragon slayers, these daggers can pierce through dragons' most rigid scales and skin as if they were mere butter. Each dragon that has fallen to the Twin Dragon Bane Daggers has its soul sealed within the blades, imbuing them with a fiery essence that grants them the ability to burn and cut simultaneously. When wielded in battle, the daggers leave a trail of searing flames in their wake, inflicting physical and elemental damage upon their foes. To enhance their already formidable power, the Twin Dragon Bane Daggers can be imbued with fire, further sharpening their edges and increasing their lethality. This infusion grants the daggers a permanent 5% burn effect, causing enemies struck by them to suffer from ongoing fiery damage. Reward number 3, Fire Manipulation, Phoenix Embrace. The Phoenix's Embrace is a powerful fire manipulation ability that allows the user to conjure and control all types of fire with unparalleled skill and precision. As the user levels up this ability to its maximum level of 5, they unlock the ultimate manifestation of their power, the ability to transform themselves into living flames. At the peak of their mastery, the user of the Phoenix's Embrace can envelop themselves in a blazing inferno, becoming one with the element of fire. In this form, they can move with incredible speed and agility, leaving trails of scorching heat in their wake. Their body becomes an ethereal entity of flames, impervious to physical harm and capable of unleashing devastating attacks upon their enemies. In addition to their mastery of fire, the user of the Phoenix's Embrace also gains proficiency in heat manipulation. They can precisely control the temperature of their flames, creating intense waves of heat that can incinerate foes or generate protective barriers of scorching fire to shield themselves from harm and burn immunity. Reward number 4, Golden Fire Teleportation. The Golden Fire Teleportation is a unique and powerful ability that allows the user to teleport using fire and heat. With this skill, the user can transport themselves to any location they can see or have been to before, utilizing the element of fire as a conduit for their teleportation. When the user activates the Golden Fire Teleportation, they envelop themselves in a shimmering golden flame that engulfs their entire body. The intense heat generated by the flame serves as the catalyst for the teleportation process, allowing the user to disperse into fiery energy and reappear at their desired destination in a burst of golden flames. Unlike other abilities, the Golden Fire Teleportation cannot be leveled up or enhanced through training or experience. Note: the user of the Golden Fire Teleportation must exercise caution and precision when utilizing this ability, as teleportation can be a complex and risky endeavor. They must have a clear mental image of their destination and focus their intent with unwavering determination to ensure a successful teleportation. Reward number 5, Tactical Adaptation Skill. Description: with tactical adaptation, the user possesses a heightened strategic mind to analyze the battlefield in real time and adapt their tactics accordingly. This ability enables the user to identify their weaknesses and shortcomings during battle and swiftly devise ways to mitigate them, turning them into strengths or opportunities for advantage. Key features: 1. Self-analysis. The user can quickly assess their strengths and weaknesses during combat, allowing them to adjust their fighting style and tactics to maximize their strengths and minimize vulnerabilities. 2. Opponent analysis. Tactical adaptation also allows users to analyze their opponent's weaknesses and exploit them effectively. This includes identifying patterns in their opponent's fighting styles, flaws in their defenses, or vulnerabilities to specific types of attacks. 3. Strategic planning. The user can create and execute complex battle strategies in real time, utilizing their knowledge of their capabilities and their opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand. For adaptive resilience, tactical adaptation provides the user with mental resilience and adaptability, allowing them to remain calm under pressure and adjust their tactics swiftly in response to changing circumstances on the battlefield. Overall, tactical adaptation empowers users to think several steps ahead, outmaneuvering their opponents by capitalizing on their weaknesses and turning the tide of battle in their favor. Reward number 6, Ability, Clairvoyant Insight. Note, ability can only be used for 5 minutes. After usage, there is a cooldown time of 10 hours. Description: with clairvoyant insight, the user can see and perceive things that are typically hidden from ordinary sight. This ability transcends physical boundaries and taps into the unseen realm, allowing the user to gain insights into hidden truths, energies, and dimensions. Key features: 1. Aura vision. The user can perceive auras, the energy fields surrounding living beings, providing valuable information about their emotions, intentions, and overall well-being. This ability allows the user to sense individuals' true nature and motives. 2. Spirit communication. Clairvoyant insight enables users to communicate with spirits, entities, or beings from other realms. This communication can offer guidance, warnings, or messages from the spiritual realm, helping the user navigate challenges or make crucial decisions. 3. Past life recognition. The user can access memories or insights from past lives, unlocking hidden knowledge and experiences that can provide valuable lessons or insights into their current life path. 4. Energy perception. The user can perceive and manipulate subtle energies such as chi, prana, or spiritual power. This ability lets the user sense imbalances, blockages, or disturbances in the energy field and take corrective actions to restore harmony and balance. Overall, clairvoyant insight empowers the user to see beyond the physical realm and gain a deeper understanding of the unseen forces at play, offering guidance, protection, and wisdom from the spiritual realm. Note, this ability can only be active for 5 minutes. After the time is up, there is a 10-hour cooldown. Reward number 7, Legendary Artifact, Celestial Sentinel Bracelet. Description: the Celestial Sentinel Bracelet is a legendary artifact combining the powers of red and blue energies, granting its wearer heightened senses and a protective energy shield in times of need. Abilities: 1. Heightened senses. The Celestial Sentinel Bracelet enhances the wearer's senses to supernatural levels. This includes heightened perception of sight, sound, smell, touch, and intuition, allowing the wearer to detect subtle environmental changes and anticipate potential threats. 2. Energy shield generation. Upon sensing an imminent threat or being attacked, the Celestial Sentinel Bracelet activates a protective energy shield around the wearer. This shield manifests as swirling black and blue energies that form a barrier capable of deflecting and absorbing incoming attacks. 3. Durability. The Celestial Sentinel Bracelet's energy shield is exceptionally resilient and can withstand blows from low-tier legendary weapons, providing a solid defense against physical assaults and magical attacks. 4. Adaptive defense. The energy shield adapts to the type of attack it faces, offering enhanced protection against various forms of harm. Whether it's a direct physical strike, a magical blast, or a supernatural assault, the shield adjusts its defenses to neutralize the threat effectively. 5. Empowerment. Besides its defensive capabilities, the Celestial Sentinel Bracelet grants the wearer a temporary boost in strength, speed, and agility when the energy shield is active, allowing them to counterattack or evade enemies with heightened prowess. Overall, the Celestial Sentinel Bracelet is a formidable tool for protection and empowerment, offering its wearer enhanced senses and a reliable defense against adversaries wielding lower-tier legendary weapons. Reward number 8, Legendary Artifact, Shadow Weaver Earrings. Description: the Shadow Weaver earrings are a pair of mystical black earrings that grant their wearer the ability to manipulate shadows, creating a versatile array of offensive and defensive tactics. Additionally, the earrings possess a passive ability to generate a protective black energy shield and enable the wearer to travel through shadows. Abilities: 1. Shadow Manipulation. The wearer of the Shadow Weaver earrings can control and manipulate shadows. This ability allows them to shape shadows into solid constructs, create illusions, or cloak themselves in darkness to move unseen. 2. Black energy shield. The earrings passively generate a protective black energy shield around the wearer, blocking incoming attacks from physical, magical, or supernatural sources. The shield automatically activates in response to threats, providing a reliable defense in times of danger. 3. Offensive shadow mode. By channeling their energy through the earrings, the wearer can infuse shadows with dark power, turning them into potent weapons. Shadow tendrils, spikes, or constructs can be summoned to strike at enemies with devastating force. 4. Defensive shadow mode. In defensive mode, the wearer can use the shadows to create barriers, walls, or shields that absorb and deflect incoming attacks. The shadows can be molded into various shapes and sizes to provide strategic protection against threats. 5. Shadow travel. The Shadow Weaver earrings allow the wearer to travel through shadows and move swiftly and stealthily between shadowy areas. This skill enables the wearer to navigate obstacles, evade pursuers, or launch surprise attacks from unexpected angles. Overall, the Shadow Weaver earrings empower the wearer with the mastery of shadows, offering a combination of offensive, defensive, and mobility capabilities. With the ability to manipulate shadows, generate protective shields, and traverse through darkness, the wearer becomes a formidable force to be reckoned with in both combat and stealth situations. Meanwhile, Anna's father, who had left the room with her 2 loyal bodyguards in tow, descended the stairs to confront the tumultuous reality awaiting them. The closer they got to the main hall, the more they could hear a commotion and heated arguments. Nishiki, Anna's father, made the decision to wait and find out what was being said. While eavesdropping on fervent debates below, the air crackled with tension as voices clashed over the looming question of succession. The organization's future leadership hung in the balance, each member vying for power in the vacuum left by the near-death experience of their Oyabun. Amidst the clamor, whispers painted Anna, the incumbent leader, as unworthy, a spoiled child ill-prepared to inherit the mantle of authority. Accusations flew unchecked, tarnishing her reputation without regard for her true character. What began as a mere contest of influence swiftly morphed into a political battleground, where ambition clashed with loyalty, and alliances crumbled under the weight of power. The air thickened with the acrid scent of betrayal as individuals jockeyed for dominance, their words sharp as knives in the dimly lit chamber of intrigue. In a bid to restore order, the Dojima Nishiki reappeared, revealing himself in good health, seeking to quell the rising tumult with a decree. Yet, his attempt to pacify the escalating chaos only fueled the flames of dissent. Accusations flew like arrows, blame cast upon his shoulders for the very conflict tearing their organization asunder. The once united front was now fractured beyond repair, spiraling into a maelstrom of accusations and recriminations. As the verbal warfare reached a crescendo, it became apparent that there would be no easy resolution to the power struggle that had consumed them. The fabric of their organization strained under the weight of discord, each member entrenched in their beliefs, unwilling to yield. In the flickering shadows of uncertainty, the future hung in the balance, a precarious dance on the edge of oblivion. Meanwhile, after Zumi had gained all his new rewards, he decided to give the Shadow Weaver earrings to Gia since she had already worn many earrings. He wanted Gia to be his second in command and have the ability, if the situation ever called for it, she could hide inside his shadow and come out depending on the situation. Gia beamed with excitement as Zumi presented her with a gift. The system chimed, "You have fulfilled Gia's desire to receive a gift from you, request value +1, attribute points +2. Zumi patted Gia's head and explained the functions of the earrings to her. Her eyes lit up, and she was so happy that Zumi trusted her with such a legendary item. The Shadow Weaver earrings are a huge deal within the underworld. Many people want them, and Zumi has gotten them. Instead of using them for himself, he gave them to her. Blushing intensely, Gia threw herself into Zumi's arms and thanked him. Zumi gave her a pat and assisted her in putting it on. The moment Gia carefully donned the Shadow Weaver earrings, a tingling sensation surged through her body, invigorating her senses. A deep, resonant hum filled the air, vibrating with an otherworldly energy that seemed to echo in the very depths of her soul. With each passing moment, the connection to the shadows grew stronger, weaving a web of darkness around her. Suddenly, Jia's perception shifted as if a veil had been lifted from her eyes. Shadows danced and flickered in her vision, revealing hidden corners and unseen pathways. She could sense the presence of shadows around her, a myriad of dark tendrils reaching out to her like old friends. She beckoned to them with a thought, and they responded eagerly, swirling and coalescing at her command. The shadows became an extension of Jia, moving in perfect harmony with her thoughts and desires. She could shape them into intricate patterns, twist them into solid forms, or disperse them like wisps of smoke. It was as if she had unlocked a hidden power within herself, a primal force that resonated with the very essence of the shadows. As Jia sat there, bathed in the shadows' whispers, she knew she had been forever changed by the connection forged through the Shadow Weaver earrings. They were not just adornments but a conduit to a world beyond, a realm of darkness and mystery that now flowed through her veins. And as she gazed into the abyss of shadows before her, she felt a sense of both awe and exhilaration, knowing that she had tapped into a power as ancient as time itself. The system chimed. Jia feels extremely grateful towards you, attribute points +2. Zumi decided to give Anna the Celestial Sentinel bracelet. He put it into his Eagle storage bracelet and said, "Let's go join the others," and they left the room. Zumi felt a wave of negative emotions and malice, feeling the halls and the sound of arguing and shouting. He said to Jia, "Enter my shadow and emerge when I call you." Without hesitation, Jia obeyed Zumi. Jia focuses on his shadow, and she suddenly morphs into a black mist, entering it.